Good day, everyone, and today I'm going to be telling you what abilities I would give to Multiple Man and Quicksilver if they were in Marvel Rivals. I haven't recorded a video for this series in a while because stuff has been busy, but yes, I'm recording this on holiday just before a heat wave, and I hope you enjoy this. First up is one of the first custom characters I ever made for Marvel Rivals, but then didn't actually put into a video because I made half his abilities to begin with. But this is Multiple Man, a strategist with 250 HP who revolves around his mechanic of his dupes. His first passive ability, Dupes, allows him to have up to 5 250 HP dupes at a time, and while you aren't controlling them, they stand still and don't really do anything, and if they're killed, they grant an assist instead of a kill. And you, as Multiple Man, can see your dupes through walls and reticles appear around them, which links to a later ability. His other passive is Team Spirit, which, to note, does not stack, but it means that when an ally is within 5 meters of you or one of your dupes, the healing they receive is increased by 10%, or something like that, because I'm not that good with numbers. But yeah, this is his main, he has some supporting abilities, but this is his only form of healing assistance. His primary fires a basic punch, but his right click ability, Cycle, has a 5-second cooldown and has very far range because it's basically whatever dupes you're looking at, you then take control of. This would be pretty instantaneous, and the body you were in would just be left behind as a dupe, and then the next body would be your new primary body, you could say. But in order to take control of a dupe, you already have to have a dupe, and he does that via his ability, Self-Duplication, which means he runs forward a few paces, basically like nothing at all but a tiny dash, and leaves behind a dupe on full health. And if he already has 5, the one which has existed for longest is destroyed, a bit like Symmetra's turrets in Overwatch. The left shift ability is why I gave him the strategist category, and it is called Extracting Investigations because in the comics, Multiple Man is part of X Factor, and the ability allows, it first makes all of your dupes heal 30 health, and then all enemies within line of sight of your dupes are revealed to you and your allies for 3 seconds, which, if you have lots of dupes and they're placed strategically, it can be very useful, especially as it only has a 10-second cooldown. He also has a small basic ability which has a 10-second cooldown, and if you're within, like, say, 5 meters of dupe, you can click F to absorb it into you and heal 75 health. When Multiple Man uses his ultimate Pylon, he targets an enemy character, and then all of your dupes, which are alive, will run towards the enemy, even if they're at the center of the map, they'll just start running at normal pace, and they will start attack the enemy until either the dupe is killed, the target is killed, or you take control of the dupe. So even if the target is running away, the dupes will just chase after them for the rest of the game, also like until you change character. But even if you die, the dupes will continue to attack the person who sent them after. There are 2 team-up abilities pertaining to Multiple Man, the first of which is Symbiote Spread, which Venom would have, and Venom would infect all allied dupes that he could see, so probably not that much, but if you worked with your Multiple Man, that could be quite a few, and he'd infect them with symbiote stuff, goo, sludge, and for the next 15 seconds, they would run towards and punch the nearest enemies, as well as their 5-meter radius, which normally would increase healing, would still increase healing for allies, but also slow down enemies, and this would have a 3-minute cooldown. And then Multiple Man would have the ability Reposition, which would be a team-up ability with Doctor Strange, and whenever Doctor Strange made a portal, if Multiple Man looks at it and clicks C, all nearby dupes or dupes within a fairly large range on your side of the portal would run through the portal and wait on the other side, and that'd just have a 25-second cooldown. Given that Doctor Strange's portal does not happen that often, but then, yeah, could be useful, but probably wouldn't be used. I considered making Multiple Man a duelist and Quicksilver a strategist, but I thought their characters and personalities would more suit the other classes. So overall, Multiple Man is an excellent scout with his dupes alerting your enemies' locations via X-Factor investigations, though you would need to be quite careful with your dupes as enemies could weaken them, so that when you switch to them, you'd be on low health. But then you can always just create a dupe and reabsorb it for quick healing. But I think it would be best, good people to team Multiple Man up with. So obviously, Venom's probably the best Vanguard to go with. Not sure what duelists would work with. With strategists, it would be any heal-oriented ones because Multiple Man himself does not provide healing to his allies. And next up is Quicksilver, who I believe would be a duelist with 250 HP. He would have two passives, like Multiple Man, in my opinion, or at least my version of him does, including his passive Head Start, which means for the first 10 seconds after respawning, your stamina meter, as he would have a stamina meter, would not decrease when he used Supersonic, which is one of his abilities. His other passive, Can't Catch Me, would mean while he was using Supersonic, he can hold down spacebar to run on walls and then release space to jump off the walls at high speeds. And then as for his primary fire, Flurry of Fists, as long as he held down the melee or primary fire button, he'd just be punching forwards. I'm not sure if he'd be able to do this while moving as well, or if he'd have to be standing still. His right click would be supersonic, and basically, as long as he held down right click and had stamina in his stamina meter, he would enter a state of super speed, in which both his passive Can't Catch Me would activate. And if you've ever played Dash in Disney Infinity, or Quicksilver or Speed in Lego Marvel Avengers, you'll kind of know it's like because he just moves faster. And of course, this would decrease his stamina meter. Despite being a speedster, his two main abilities would have very long cooldowns, with Speed of Light being a yo-yo-esque ability where he leaves behind an after image, and after 15 seconds or when he reactivates the ability, he would get pulled back to where he was, which, while it would be useful for entering a fight if you don't know you can win and then just being able to quickly escape, it would also be limited because you'd have to be pulled out. Mostly, I thought it could be used for misdirection and also scouting, as it'd be a good way to confuse your enemies. And now for an ability which I think he should definitely have, which is one of the reasons I considered making him a strategist, and that's Tailwind, which means for the next 5 seconds, when you're using Supersonic, he leaves behind a blue vapor trail that increases the speed of all allies who are in it, and it would have a 20-second cooldown. His ultimate Whirlwind would be very annoying, just like Quicksilver is generally in movies and comics and stuff, and he would target 6 locations which he could see, and as time slows down, and time would slow down for all players, but also time would slow down accordingly, as he dashed to each location which he targeted, spinning around and making a miniature tornado to each of them, which would last for 10 seconds, and each one would suck in and immobilize first enemy who basically touched them, and hold them in place until the 10 seconds had ended. His team-up ability Need for Speed would allow him to give Magneto or Scarlet Witch a kind of wind vortex, which would halve incoming damage for 5 seconds and speed them up slightly. So Quicksilver would be a duelist with only one way to do damage, being his basic attack, but he'd be great in a fight as he can dash in and out with Supersonic, which I think if your stamina meter was full, you could maybe Supersonic for 7 seconds, and he'd be able to easily hunt down weak enemies to finish them off, and he could use Speed of Light to confuse and mess with your opponents, and help communicate to your team, because if you're in voice call, you could say what enemies were. Plus, he has some supportive abilities with Tailwind and his team up, and also his ultimate, which is very powerful even if you trap only 1 or 2 enemies, they're stuck for quite a while. Due to his low damage output and also just his team-up ability. It would work well with high damage output characters such as Scarlet Witch and Magneto. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening or watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, you could go and check out my other videos in this series, as I should have a playlist linked in the description. And you could also check out my other Marvel and non-Marvel content just on my channel. Have a great day and ta-ta.